Before we get started, can I just say something? Okay. Uh, you're welcome, gang. A lot of people don't take and call it a day. Oh, you're welcome, gang. You've actually taken the time to set the clock, and I appreciate that. You're welcome, game. That's how I know that you care about this experience. You're paying attention. I don't even have any way of knowing if the times you're setting are correct. Tell you what, I'll make you a deal. Since you've been so cooperative, next time you boot up the game and see the screen, just set the clock to your favorite time. Go ahead, pick whichever time you want. Even if it's not the correct time, you've earned it. Alright, I'll let you get back to the video game now. Alright, well, before we start that, there's no one in the stream right now, but, we're going to be playing the Stanley Parable again. I didn't beat it last time. I don't even know, like, what it would be, like, the end. Oh yeah, the Stanley Parable 2. That's right. Audio controls and flight control. Main volume. Okay. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and start the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe Edition and try to beat it now. So, it says 2, but that's the secret thing.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
We
Stanley
already
worked
know
for a
that.
company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his
Oh,
desk
it's
in room
the player
427
model.
and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year.
Yep,
And
we
although
already know
others
that.
might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in.
Yeah, I
Though he
try
had
to
been
relish
nearly
every
30
moment of
years
the
on this
game.
job,
Whoa.
and Stanley
It's just a single
was happy.
room. That's weird. Okay.
And then one day, something very peculiar happened.
The
Something
Stanley
that would
Parable
forever
2.
change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk
Welcome
and
back.
stepped out of his office.
It's funny. So if you just quit the game, can I jump finally? Okay, so even though this is the sequel, you still can't jump. Even though the dude said you could. Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
No, he did not. What's this? I've never seen this before. Alright, where's the infinite hole? I want to go to the infinite hole. Where is it?
Stanley felt the bucket calling to him, begging him to pick it up.
Okay. I don't see a bucket. You're telling me to pick up a bucket, but
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Yeah, let's just do this the normal way. So, where's my lucky bucket?
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief,
Okay.
Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
again.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Maybe Stanley would never pick up the bucket. A lonely bucket, lonely and miserable, and Stanley-less.
There is no bucket.
Such a sad fate for a bucket.
There's no bucket, dude. Stop complaining, alright? Listen, I'm looking around, I don't see a bucket. There is no... Oh, bucket!
Stanley picked up the bucket.
Bucket! Yay!
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room?
Yes, it
Stanley
was.
thought to himself. Yes, perhaps it truly was.
Yep.
How insightful the bucket turned out to be.
We're just gonna stay here in the lounge room, because the lounge room is truly the best room to be in.
Truly, being here with the bucket was a grand adventure. Stanley reflected on all they'd been through together.
Yes,
First,
I do
walking
remember.
through the door on the right, then walking to the lounge, then arriving at the lounge. What a thrilling journey the bucket had inspired.
Yes, I know. This is a very great story.
Perhaps this was where the bucket felt most truly at home, here in the employee lounge. Perhaps it's the only place a bucket can even feel at home.
Okay, now I don't want to be here. Wait. Oh, you're gonna
Finally,
close.
the bucket
Okay.
was done being in the lounge, and they took the first open door on their left to get back to business.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift.
Hey, didn't it used to be like jump off a cargo lift while it was in motion will cause death? $1,000. Do I see? No, wait. Wait. Yep. Yep.
But Stanley feared that any path he walked might lead to the separation of himself and the bucket, his dearest friend. So he threw himself to his death.
That's a freaking game, bro. I didn't want to jump there.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Stanley lifted the bucket into his arms, and a wave of comfort rushed over him. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift.
I'll go in that thing later. The moving physics are weird in this game.
You found one of them. One of the miniature Stanley figurines. Remember, no reward for collecting all of these. Only the intrinsic pleasure of a job well done. You can't buy that sort of happiness, Stanley. God knows I've tried.
I want more.
So, I implore you to savor each and every moment you come
I
across one of these
am
beautiful
going
figurines.
to. Yay. Alright, I got me a collectible. That was so obviously kind of shown, so. Whee! Okay. Oh. Now where am I? Is there anything over here? No. Oh. Okay. What's this?
This is day number 295. Tape number... I don't even know. I've lost track.
Wouldn't it be track
Nothing
295?
feels real anymore. The longer I study this bucket, the less sense anything makes. The sheer euphoria I feel every time I pick it up. No matter how many times I've done it, it's always the same feeling.
Mm-hmm.
And the emptiness in my chest when I set it down.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't make sense.
There's
no explanation for it.
But do you feel the hole's hole? Wait, no, the bucket's hole?
Why I see the world so differently when this bucket is in my arms. Why everything feels...
Sorry about that.
So,
So,
what do I do with this treasure?
Eat the bucket.
I can monetize it.
Monetize it.
Yes. It's
Narrator
unthinkable the amounts of money people will pay for even just an hour.
A wide evidence 252.
This is my golden ticket. But I have to be careful, because as soon as this gets out, there's going to be a target on my back. Even now, I don't know who might be trying to get me. What's that? Who's there?
Comborata? Comborata? Is that the... I didn't think this was gonna turn into a horror. I would have played FNAF for that. No, don't tell me it's all the way over.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Okay, what
Stanley
if I...
decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Oh. Okay,
The confusion and the chaos all seemed to melt away as Stanley embraced the bucket. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his... This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No,
said the bucket.
Don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes.
Here.
Go there. Go to the cargo lift. Good,
said the bucket.
Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not... He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked. Unless, what if the problem is that you actually don't know what is a bucket and what isn't a bucket? I suppose that would explain a lot about your behavior up to this point. Which, if that's true, well, my goodness, I think we have to do something about it. This misunderstanding could have dire consequences on the entire rest of the game if not addressed quickly and properly. So much of the impact of the story is dependent on your understanding of what is and isn't a bucket. Please, step in here for a moment.
Okay. I don't want to do that.
Now then, I'm going to run you through some test scenarios, and you'll tell me whether or not the thing I'm showing you is a bucket. Simple enough, right? This should tell us everything we'll ever need to know about what is or is not a bucket. Okay, let's begin. Item 1. Is this a bucket? Incorrect. It is a hologram of a bucket, not an actual bucket.
Screw you.
Item 2.
Okay, is that a real bucket?
Correct. It is a 3D printed recreation of a bucket, not an actual bucket.
Did not know the bucket will have so much impact on the story.
Item 3. Is this a bucket?
Yes.
Correct. This is a bucket. Item 4. Is this a bucket?
Yes.
What? Are you hallucinating? This is a tractor. It's an enormous machine that tills the earth. I thought this was a gimmick. How on earth did you manage to screw it up? Absolutely incredible. Let's just move on to the next one. Is this a bucket? I don't. I mean, it kind of looks like a bucket. Correct. This is a bucket.
Okay, I thought it was. Seems smart.
Item 6. Is this a bucket?
No.
Trick question. Both. Gotcha.
I mean, you can never win that.
Item... Wait, hold on. I can't find the next one. Let me see. It should be around here somewhere.
Oh.
Yes. Thank you. There's nothing here. Of course it isn't a bucket. We both know full well that nothing isn't a bucket. Wait, when I say nothing isn't a bucket, that makes it sound like I'm saying everything is a bucket, which of course is not true. Unless... Is that what you think? Answer me straight, Stanley. Are you trying to tell me that you believe everything is a bucket?
Oh. But if nothing is everything, then everything is nothing, so... Yes.
You know what? I'm too confused to even sort it out. I've lost all sense of perspective. What is a bucket? What isn't a bucket? Mere moments ago I could answer these questions with confidence. And yet now I'm somewhat adrift. Do any of us know what a bucket is? Am I a bucket? Stanley, I can't keep doing this. I'm losing myself, and myself was all I ever had to begin with. I'm afraid the bucket is threatening to tear our relationship apart. I can't have that. I'm sorry. But I'm going to erase all buckets from the game entirely.
You're the only one of it.
Here we go.
Yeah, you got rid of the entire
What
gang,
happened?
you idiot.
Is everything gone? Why did everything disappear? Wait, was everything a bucket? Every single thing in the game was a bucket?
Yeah, you
God,
freaking
I had
idiot.
no idea. How could...
Everything except my
me.
reticle.
I'm not a bucket after all. And you, Stanley, you're still here. You're not a bucket either. Oh, this is wonderful news. We're not buckets. Yes, I actually feel much more at ease right now. It's delightful to get some clarity on that issue. But it doesn't change the fact that we haven't got a game. So, tell you what, I'll reset everything and we'll put back all of the buckets, okay? And we'll
Okay.
know that it's all a bucket. But if you run into
Alright.
anyone else, maybe don't mention that. Who knows what that information might do to a person? All right, here we go.
Okay. Excuse me? Wait. Here's a phone.
Hello. This is a recorded message scheduled either by you or a person in your...
Alrighty, guys, I am back.
place of work. The purpose of this message is to warn you about the dangers of recorded messages. If at
What?
any time you believe you are listening to a recorded message, please terminate it immediately and cease all flow of information from the recorded message into your perceptual sphere. Thank you, and have a pleasant day.
Hey, I'm on top of a desk.
At first, Stanley assumed he'd broken the map until he heard this
Okay.
narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along. He then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes. So, now that you're here, what do you think? Isn't this a fun and unique place to be? Why don't we take a minute just to drink it all in? Okay, I'm over it now. What do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet?
Well, yes.
I don't know how to say this politely, but you could literally just restart the game any old time you want.
Okay. Good to know. Alright. Thank you. Excuse me. Hey,
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Dog mode? Okay. Dog mode. That's funny. I'm not gonna
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
Shut up.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Oh, there will be a award for finding them all. Finding my coworkers? Oh, agenda having to tell you've spotted one. I need my thing. I need it. Wait, it's saying there will be a reward for getting all the dudes.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
Yep.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Wait, this is where you have to repeat. Never mind. Don't go in there. Okay, that's very good to know. Oh, wait. You.
Another miniature Stanley figurine.
Yay!
You know, there really must be a snappier name for these things. What about mini stands?
Ooh, mini
Stanley
stands.
things. What about Stanlerines? Yes, I think I like
Stanlerines.
that.
I love
Another
that.
Stanlerine under your belt.
Thank you. Okay. I know I heard a weird sound. I could go up the stairs like that. Huh, that's weird. Alright, now let's go up to the boss's office. Nope. Okay. Still dark as crap in here.
I'm going back
Yay!
to the name of these little Stanley figurines, and now I'm torn between Stanlerines and
Stanlerines.
Figlies. What do you think, Stanley? What name better encapsulates the intrinsic
Stanlerines.
sense of happiness that you get from seeing a small number in the corner of your screen go up by 1? Let me sit on it. I'm sure it will come to me.
No. Don't sit on it. Okay, so bathroom is as boring as usual. Okay. That's the elevator. I've already done that before, so no need to do that.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again
Wait.
stunned to discover not an indication of any human
Dang
life.
it.
Shocked,
Forgot there'd be one.
unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
Oh, it doesn't do anything if I have a secret number.
Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck.
Be right back.